Hey, Dr. Kat here on a lovely Tuesday afternoon. So, if you don't know me, my name is Katrina Williams, aka Dr. Kat, and I teach women about the patterns that they have that get in the way of their money, their love. I do a lot of relationship coaching. That's my jam, right? I don't know why that was there. It just felt like the right thing to do. I do a lot of relationship coaching. And you'll see my notes in front of me. I always have notes because I do a billion things. And I'm not even about to sit here and act like I memorize everything for y'all because that ain't real. And what I also focus on is authenticity. Now, are we always being authentic? No. I can be a little perfectionistic. I'll be the first person to admit, right? But you do the best you can. So, in relationships, we may or may not have space emotionally or intellectually to feel like we can handle the feelings of being authentic. But when you show up here with me, you're going to give it what you've got and you're just going to keep it pushing and take it small step by small step. It's not about you being at the finish line on day 1 or day 100. Okay, I've been doing this for years and I still live and learn. So this series is going to specifically focus on, let me see, from roots to results, right? What that means, if you know anything about the way that I teach that you need to know where you came from. You don't have to harp on it, but know where you came from to know where you want to go. So we're going to dig a little deeper. If you haven't really gleaned it from the videos that I've had so far on YouTube, you'll notice that I teach you what you've been through is impacting where you're going overall. The old things that you've been through, they're unconsciously and consciously keeping you from where you want to go. The way your mind works is the way your bank account looks, the kind of car you drive, the kind of house you have, the kind of investments and assets you do or do not have, what you think you're capable of and what you don't think you're capable of. And I say that in love. I don't say that so that you can criticize yourself and think something's wrong with you. I say that so that you can know where you're starting and choose where you want to go. All right? This is a lifelong journey, so don't rush it. So, what are we going to do? First, we're going to revisit the inner child. This video here is going to set you up for the series. I'm not going to go over all the major points, but I'm going to go over the important things you need to know so that you can have good context for roots to results. All right? Sometimes I talk a little fast because I get excited because I love people knowing that everything is connected like a spider web. So imagine the inside of my hand is you, right? This is money, romantic relationships, friendships, career, physical health. Then you got mental health. You got all of it. All of it is connected to the way that you think and feel about life. I was just helping somebody today and she was saying, well, I don't call myself fat. I wouldn't say that. And I said, we're doing a cognitive reframe exercise. So if that doesn't bother you, why'd you bring it up? She's like, well, I don't say it out loud because when I say it out loud, it just sounds weird now. I said, I know. That's why you say it out loud so you can hear how you don't deserve to be talked to like that. And you didn't make that up. You didn't come into the world as a baby saying, I'm fat. You learned that. So let's be honest. Is that what you think? She said, yeah, I know. And then that led to her crying and getting it out. You got to get it out. That stuff becomes toxic. All right. So we're going to look at how you are emotionally and psychologically holding on to your earliest experiences. We're talking about the inner child, just to bring you back to the point, okay? When you are going through things when you're a child, the biggest pain points come from unmet needs. That can lead to fear, rage, anger, unfair feelings, sadness, even shutting down or blasting out, okay? These are some of the ways that you cope so that you can work your way through the world with what you were given. And this version of you, this little tiny person, what you're doing is you're doing your best to feel seen, heard, and safe. Don't judge or criticize that part of you. In the videos, I give you a lot of tools on how to feel more seen, heard, and safe. The paradox is it's not about other people seeing you, hearing you, or helping you feel safe. It starts from inside out, and then you just invite who you trust in. You don't have to trust everybody. That is not the goal of personal growth. You trust who you trust, how you trust as much as you can as you go through the process. All right? So, when you look at the inner child in romantic relationships is the most popular topic that I teach people in. Typically, people are looking for how to feel safe if they can. If they can't, they know that as well. They know if they can feel vulnerable, and if they can't. They know what kind of attention they want and need. If you don't know that, typically, for most kids, they're taught what is unacceptable more than they're taught what is going to be good for them. For most kids, they're told what they're supposed to do and that their voice doesn't matter. So, your little version is trying to find how their voice matters if they think it matters. The inner child is not selfish. It's not trying to be difficult. It's trying to show you your emotional truth. Truth is stable. It doesn't move. What's true can move. It's flexible. But a truth is stable. To feel safe, being a need is a truth. Does it mean you'll always feel that way in personal growth? No. Sometimes you will intentionally go outside of your comfort zone to get to a new place, and then you'll reground in safety. But that's not meant to be every day, all day. So how do these things that we store in the body of a woman turn into these generational patterns? They just become a norm, and then we start saying them and exhibiting them and thinking this is the way it's supposed to be. We learned it from somebody else. Why wouldn't it be true? These are some of the ways that these emotional blueprints are passed down. So let's look at how, without even saying a word, you can learn about the multiple areas of life we just talked about and how non-verbally they can be impacting your life. These are the areas that our families model for us. How they handle money is how you likely will handle money. How they expressed anger or didn't, especially for women of color. I just learned how to be angry like 2 years ago. Don't even get me started. How they expressed anger or didn't. Who was expected to lead and who was expected to serve. I was a served person and a leader. It was really confusing. How women were treated. Whether dreams were celebrated or shut down. What was acceptable as far as how you look, how you act, and how you sound. These are just some of the ways that are passed down, and usually they're rooted in survival. There is a difference. I've said this before, and I'll say it a million times more. There is a difference between survival and living. They feel different, they look different, they sound different. It's different. One has a lot more freedom in taking risks. The other one, you hunker down and you get stuff done. Okay? Now, how do generational patterns shape your worldview? And this happens from when you are pre-verbal. You can be 1.5 you can already get the message. Okay? So your inner child wounds, then they turn into these worldviews. Okay, so they go from the inner child all the way through those generational patterns to your worldviews. So from here to here, now you're living as an adult and you're saying, I can't trust anyone. I'll never have enough. I know all these off the top of my head, but I'm just sticking with the script here. Love always hurts. I'm too much. That one's popular. It's safer to stay small. And that can even look like a woman who's making $500K a year. Small for you, may not be small for somebody else. You never want to compare to other people. You want to know if you're living your maximum potential, if you're living the life that you were meant to live. You want to compare who you are today to who you were 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 months ago. Are you actually feeling like the person that you're meant to be? Sometimes we can have physical symptoms too. Those aches, those pains, those headaches, that tooth grinding, can't sleep. That's all a lack of authenticity, honesty, and genetics all looped into one. You got to find your truth, and that stuff will subside. Take care of yourself more. It'll get better even more. Take your small steps. The biggest sword we can have to cut away those things that we don't want is awareness. That's why I do so much authenticity and honesty. So now you know the name of these things. What you can name, you can do something about. It's like going to the doctor and you got this weird thing going on. If you can name it, you can do something with it much more. This is a snippet of some of the names of the things that you might be going through. It might have different words, it might have a different sound, might look different in real life, but you're not alone. This is what many people are going through with generational messages. You see a lot of movements breaking these messages. Just start with yours, because you never know who's looking and who's using your example as something that they can work with. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's not a real thing. Go ahead and let that go, boo-boo. So, in the series, what we're going to do is we're going to break down those 3 pieces. Okay? Those childhood wounds, the generational patterns, and the woman you are today. And then we're going to see how you want to heal a lot of the wounds, tend to her, see her, be with her. And we're going to make some changes. All right? So that was just to give you the groundwork. That's what this one is for. Give you some words, some perspective, so that you have something to work with. All right? Now, what I'm going to do is have you consider, what do I absorb from my family? What has stayed with me over the years? What did I inherit? What do I want to keep that I inherited? What do I want to let go of? What are you ready to release? What are you afraid to release? I know there are still some things I'm working through that I'm still not quite sure I want to release, though I know I need to. You got to go at the pace that you can go. Your body will tell you what you can work with and what will be overwhelming and when you need support. I'll be here to support you through the YouTube universe. I have a book coming out about your inner child, being involved in your dating and your marriage. When that's released, I'll let you know. Hopefully that'll help you as well. Knowing is powerful. And knowing where you can go and how you can help yourself through is also meaningful. Just know that growth is not always supposed to be so hard. Healing the inner child is not about a one and done, a weekend retreat that's supposed to just get rid of it all. You're not trying to get rid of her. You're incorporating her into your life in a way that makes more sense. So take your time. Okay? If this resonates with you, like and subscribe, do your thing. I'll be here helping, serving, because that's what I believe in. And the next episode will come out soon. All right? Love and hugs, as always.